Thanks for joining us. I'm Megan Roberts. We begin tonight in the Yukon, where former students of an elementary school in the territory could be entitled to a major payout. A tentative settlement has been reached in a class action lawsuit filed against the Yukon government. Gabrielle Plonka has the details.
Over the course of 15 years, excessive discipline was routine at this school, Jack Holland Elementary. Methods that should be used as a last resort were used on students under 13, like physical restraints and seclusion rooms, up until a class action lawsuit filed 3 years ago and a settlement agreement released yesterday brought it all to light. Part of the settlement agreement requires the Yukon government to admit it caused harm. It says it accepts full responsibility and offers a sincere apology to the affected children and their families for having failed to protect those children from the improper use of holds, restraints, and seclusion. The settlement outlines 3 tiers of compensation. The minimum payout will be $10,000, reaching a maximum of $1 million to those affected worse. The litigation team says the process for claims will be low barrier because many potential claimants are still young, were traumatized at school, and may have special needs. The lowest tier of compensation has minimal reporting requirements. There's also a separate fund for families to get access to counseling and other treatment. Once the settlement gets court approval, families can start making claims. The plaintiffs told CBC News no amount of money can reverse the damage done, but they hope this settlement will help their children find success in life. Gabrielle Plonka, CBC News, Whitehorse.
Reaction is rolling into Prime Minister Mark Carney's announcement for 5 major infrastructure projects to boost the Canadian economy. There are no northern projects on the list, but despite that, there's a feeling of positivity in Nunavut. TJ Deer tells us why.
No projects in the north were part of the first group to receive federal support, but the Arctic Economic and Security Corridor could be part of the second group. On Thursday, the Prime Minister said the corridor will help protect Canada from foreign threats and help Canada's economic interests.
The Arctic Corridor will open up promising advanced stage mineral projects through critical links from port to port to port.
Hudson Lester is the Nunavut General Manager of the NWT and Nunavut Chamber of Mines. He says there's still optimism for the future.
Us being in the second group still holds a lot of positivity, and we still think shows a lot of encouragement for the North, whether it's investment, economic development, or critical mineral extraction.
One end of the corridor features the Grays Bay Road and Port project near Kuluktuk, but the project itself still needs an environmental assessment. Bobby Anaviluk is the community's MLA. He says although he's excited about Thursday's announcement, having the local hunters and trappers organization involved is vital.
It's important for them because they deal a lot with the wildlife, and they deal with local people, hunters that use that area for hunting and harvesting. So it's really good that they be part of it.
The West Kitikmeot Resources Corporation has a team currently in the community to hear from locals. CEO Brendan Bell says caribou passing through are a major concern.
This needs to be designed in a manner that is that allows them to pass, and so there's some engineering work to be done.
Bell says the impact statement for the environmental assessment would be completed and submitted to the regulators by Christmas. TJ Deer, CBC News, Iqaluit.
Carney's pledge to strengthen Canada's economy through these projects happens in the midst of an ongoing trade war with the U.S. One northern security expert says Carney is trying to create a sense of excitement and momentum, but he says the 5 projects announced on Thursday won't do it. I spoke to Ken Coates earlier to get his take on the announcement and what the North should expect. Thanks so much for being here with me.
Delighted to do so.
So what was your first thought when you saw that list of 5 projects?
Underwhelming, to be honest. Those projects have all been in discussion for more than half a decade, if not longer. They've almost all gone through most of the approval processes. They're sort of 75, 80% of the way down the line. So basically, it's like announcing yesterday's news. The government's trying the best it can to find projects it can move forward on. It wants to give a sense of momentum and excitement, but this won't do it. It actually is pretty much more of the same and not all that exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I think the federal government's reasoning for choosing these projects as it stated it, was because they were the furthest along and they had the biggest chance of success, these 5 projects. So you're saying that's not enough. We have to get something that's a little bit newer down the road faster.
So it's an interesting question, because I think, first off, this is a repackaging of earlier announcements. All these different things have been announced or discussed widely for a long time. And what the government's trying to do is to give a sense that Canada is open for business, it's open for investment, it's going to deal with regulatory overburden, which is one of the worst in the world. And we're going to move things along. We're going to get down to business. And it's, if I was an investor, if I was a banker, if I was in an Indigenous group, I wouldn't be all that convinced, because these are projects that are already on the books and they've had lots of conversations. So it doesn't really mean much is new.
Let's talk about this Arctic security corridor that has been discussed much by the federal government, by people in the territories. Were you surprised that that project didn't make this first cut?
I'm not surprised. I'm delighted it's on the second line, because there's a lot more work to be done. And there's a lot of consultations with the communities. This project, again, has been on the books for quite a while. The Inuit in the western Nunavut have been proposing this kind of a project for quite some time, and running up against all sorts of barriers and a lack of investment and things of that nature. And so it's a classic example of that second list, where they're saying, okay, let's take a closer look at it. Let's give some encouragement to investors and see if we can get it going. But just to use one example of a serious question that's been raised, even with that new road, most of that road is really going to be an ice road. For parts of the winter, because you can't build all that many bridges, you can't build all that many crossings of rivers and roads and lakes. So there's some really big technical questions of whether, in fact, this will actually be viable. And we have to answer those questions first. We've spent a lot of money in Canada over the years building roads that actually, and building railways and new projects that actually didn't lead to very much. And I think it's really important this time around the government not get overly excited about things because they look good on PowerPoint presentations. There's some real good hard work behind this project. I think it has great potential, but we have to answer some serious questions first. So I think what the government's doing by putting it on the second list is saying this is sort of not a red light saying no, not a green light saying yes, but a sort of yellow light saying proceed with caution.
I mean, the North has a lot of infrastructure needs. Some are pretty basic when we compare ourselves to the South and what the people in southern provinces have. Do you think this big focus on these so-called nation-building projects will get us what we need in the North?
No, I don't actually. And although you sort of have to applaud sort of the effort. I mean, the nation building is a sort of a response to President Trump. And it's the idea that somehow we're going to rebuild a Canadian economy and reposition a Canadian economy and do something quite dramatically different that will actually save us from sort of the Trump-inspired tariff chaos that's about to hit the southern economy. So we started with this idea of national projects. Virtually none of those projects are national projects. The one that comes closest is the one in Churchill, which again is on the second list, the sort of let's look at this more deeply sort of project idea. That one actually potentially links up northern Alberta, even northeastern British Columbia, to the Hudson Bay and to European markets. It could help the farmers on the prairies. That one looks and sounds like something of a national project. And in fact, the descriptions of them now said exactly like they did in the early 20th century when they were talked about building the Port of Churchill in the first place. Most of these things are worthy regional projects. And they're worthy regional projects that have a good potential to add some economic opportunity in certain locations. But I think the North is not going to be supercharged by this. Canada's economy is not going to be supercharged by this. And some major questions remain unresolved. The major one that I have is I'm not sure what those big national projects would be. You know, there's no Trans-Canada Highway. There's no equivalent of the Canadian Pacific Railway. There's no equivalent of the St. Lawrence Seaway. Those are the kind of projects that we're nation building. These are sort of good local regional economy building activities. Nothing wrong with them, but we have to hold our excitement back quite a bit and not just sort of follow the government's logic. Government's trying to make political points. I don't mean in a partisan way. They're trying to sort of say to Canadians, we've got your back. We're going to push forward really aggressively. This is not very aggressive. It's not very dramatic. Certainly from the northern point of view, the only one is the Arctic Security Corridor that's sort of on that list, and Northerners must feel a little left out.
All right, we'll leave it there. Ken, thank you so much for your time today.
You're more than welcome.
Nunavut has released its Arctic sovereignty and security strategy. As we've told you, it comes at a time of increased interest in Arctic infrastructure. TJ Deere is back now with more.
More than 2 months after the first ever Arctic Sovereignty and Security Summit, the government of Nunavut has released its strategy. It was created in collaboration with Nunavut Tungavik Incorporated. That's the organization that manages the Nunavut Land Claims Agreement. The strategy stresses the importance of development in the north, but with Inuit leading the way. It's based on 5 pillars, one of which is building strong communities. Inuit leaders have said that you can't defend the north without developing the north. Housing, healthcare, connectivity, and emergency preparedness are among the major themes of this development strategy. These are crucial, as there's a major gap in these areas between the north and the rest of Canada. The goal for any new infrastructure builds is for them to be dual use, so they serve Canada's military interests, but also the interests of Nunavummiut. Nunavut Premier PJ Akeagok says Nunavummiut are united in what they want.
We've seen for decades the divide-conquer that's been played on us a few times. You look at the pinning between Inuit organizations versus government, and from that perspective, I think it really sends a clear message in terms of our ask moving forward, and I think we've made some huge headway.
NTI President Jeremy Tungaluk also wants the divide-and-conquer approach left out, adding that the 5 pillars will make sure that everyone is on board and Inuit are at the negotiating table. Akeagok is meeting with 3 federal ministers in Ottawa on Monday to try and get federal funding for the strategy included in the fall budget. TJ Deere, CBC News, Iqaluit.
The government of Nunavut has reached a tentative deal with its workers for a new collective agreement. It comes almost a year after the previous deal with the Nunavut Employees Union expired. The president of the Employees Union says the goal of the new deal is to break down barriers.
We didn't get a lot of movement anywhere specifically, but we got a little bit of movement everywhere. We really worked hard to eliminate a lot of the barriers that the employer seems to struggle with. We wanted to make sure that the employer understands and the government of Nunavut understands that a goal someday should be a sustainable workforce.
Multiple MLAs praised both sides for reaching a deal. The agreement will now have to be ratified. Nunavut's Human Resources Minister says he hopes it'll lead to progress and strong partnership. People from Wati and NWT are settling back home after spending a week away from their community. They were forced out by a nearby wildfire. While the community is safe, the fire is still close, and thick smoke lingers in the air. Still, people are relieved to be back.
After so much time, you miss home because it is, your comfort, your security. It's not like staying out somewhere where what is not yours, you can't, I won't feel comfortable touching something or, So I think that's one of the things that when you're home, it's home sweet home. Like there's nothing like it in any place else.
Wati's fire chief says crews have been dismantling sprinklers in the community. NWT Fire says the fire is not under control, but the areas posing the biggest threats to the community are contained. First Nations have long wanted to protect the Tetlit-Gwinjik or Peel River watershed, which impacts both the Yukon and the Northwest Territories. The movement took a major step forward this week with the completion of a feasibility study, showing that a park is both possible and desired by citizens of the area.
We're really happy about this, and it's a good day for the First Nation of Notchanaikdan. We're proud to work with the leadership within the Gwich'in Tribal Council for these shared lands that hold so much cultural and spiritual significance for our people.
The Gwich'in Tribal Council, the First Nation of Nunavut, and the Yukon and federal governments took part in the survey and will now move into negotiations. The park would cover around 3,000 square kilometers, an area half the size of Prince Edward Island. It's a major milestone for First Nations who have been calling for the watershed's conservation for decades. In the Northwest Territories, longtime politician Sam Gargan has died. Gargan was a respected leader, public servant, and former Speaker of the Northwest Territories Legislative Assembly. He was first elected to the Legislative Assembly in 1983, representing the Decho constituency. He later held multiple roles in territorial leadership, including as the chief of the Degagoti First Nation. In 2009, he was elected Grand Chief of the Decho First Nations. Gargan is remembered for his dedication to his people. He was 77.
There's 300 names over here.
The future is everything. Stories of incredible ingenuity, dedication, and some extraordinary teamwork. This is parenthood.
Take a voyage with me to the vast, remote, most extreme place on Earth.
For many, this will be a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Where the effects of climate change are intensifying.
The poles are a very rapidly changing place.
And geopolitical cracks threaten peace and stability.
Do you think there's a security concern?
I definitely do.
Experience the historic all-Canadian mission. CBC in Antarctica. Watch free on CBC Gem.
Want to get the most out of CBC News? Use the app or cbcnews.ca for live breaking news on the stories that matter to you. Whether it's local, national, or around the world, turn to CBC News.
It makes sense that they get a larger share, or does it?
Welcome to the Greenbelt.
All of this, just single-detached homes.
Yes.
What do we know? I think we can explain.
About that with Andrew Chang.
Although the NBA currently is flooded with Canadian players, this was not a reality.
A new immigration law.
This story, it's directly tied to all of those families who made a brave choice to come to this country.
My favorite word.
Tariff! How seriously are you taking this threat?
It's the uncertainty that's the biggest issue.
Canada, we got you.
Elbows up!
A mental health therapist is calling on the government of Nunavut to allow private practitioners who live in the territory to be part of its counseling service. Emma Tranter explains.
Finding a therapist in Nunavut can be complicated. Inuit using federal non-insured health benefits can see a therapist through Nunavut's Healing by Talking program. But all the providers in that program live in the south. Rachel Hollingshead is the therapist. She's lived in Iqaluit for the last 13 years, and she worked for the GN for a decade before starting her own private practice. She says she wants to accept NAHB from her clients, but she can't because she doesn't work for Healing by Talking.
It's not my issue that they're pulling in supports from outside of the territory. It's always been a necessity up here, especially in healthcare. My issue is, why would you do that to the exclusion of somebody here on the ground who's being asked for that support?
The GN administers NAHB through counseling services. If someone wants to see a therapist outside of that program, they need to apply separately. Camila Seti is the Director of Mental Health for the territory. She says they're rolling out phase 2 of the program to create more community-based support.
So you may not find a child and attachment therapist in Nunavut. We actually don't have any that really focus on how we work in that area with people. You may find somebody who's doing like emotion-focused therapy in couples. And so we really look at how we fill, hire, and staff based on where the current needs are.
Seti also says 5.4% of the population uses Healing by Talking. Indigenous Services Canada also says they're looking at expanding the way NIHB is administered, including through Inuit organizations. Emma Tranter, CBC News, Yellowknife.
Gas prices in Nunavik are dropping thanks to a government subsidy. Inuit beneficiaries will now pay $1.69 per litre. That's down from $1.84. The president of Quebec's legal representative for Inuit says the price drop is important. Many community members rely on gas to fish, hunt, and meet their daily needs.
So the price of fuel, fortunately, has gone down south. So when that goes down, it affects us in a positive way. So the gasoline subsidy that we're providing this year, it's going to be 78 cents a litre.
Residents must show a gas subsidy card at the pump to qualify. Cards are available through the regional government's website or by signing up at a local gas station. Atami says the price is locked in for a full year until next September. In the Yukon, some residents of Haines Junction say they've been having trouble connecting to the 5G network for years. Haines Junction has a population of about 1,000 people. Many say they're paying for cell phone data plans, but they can't connect. Residents say there are persistent dead zones in the community, and the spotty, unreliable cell coverage is posing challenges.
It's not just a social thing. It's I need to transfer money, get money. People who perhaps are renewing prescriptions via some sort of data link. Our modern society is reliant on data transfer, data tools, so that we can go about our daily lives. And for that matter, also, let's not forget people who rely on that for their business.
Bell owns the majority of the Yukon's cell towers. It didn't respond to a request for comment. The Canadian Radio and Television Commission says customers can contact them to file complaints for gaps in service. Ancient Inuit stories, village upheavals, and the supernatural. The film Oiksawinitahra, Wrong Husband, will have its Iqaluit premiere tonight. The film is directed by Zacharias Kunuk. It had its North American premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival earlier this week. It's a historical drama about an arranged marriage set 4,000 years ago. A boy and a girl are promised to each other and live harmoniously before a troll-like creature threatens their village. The film is a celebration of Inuit culture. Kunuk says the film looks at what it means to break a promise.
In the Inuit culture, where there's no paper and pen to make deals, when a deal is made, it's all done in the head in the olden days. So you can't break promises. So this film is all about that.
The entire cast of the film is from Iqaluit. The free screening is at the Astro Theatre in Iqaluit. The Western Hockey League is in Whitehorse this weekend for 2 exhibition games. The Medicine Hat Tigers and Kelowna Rockets face off tonight and tomorrow, and when they do, one marquee player won't be there. George Moranis reports.
The Medicine Hat Tigers had the chance to sign autographs and show off their WHL championship trophy to Yukoners last night. But one of the players who helped the Tigers win last year didn't make the trip. Hometown kid and the reigning CHL Player of the Year, Gavin McKenna.
I think it would be easy to say that it changes the dynamic of the event. And the only reason it does is because I wanted this for him and for his family. But, you know, this was something that was presented to us by the operating committee a long time ago. And it really is about a chance to bring the game up here. The fact that the Tigers are represented, I know there's lots of Tigers fans here. They'll have a chance to be excited in that regard.
Initially, these games were designed to entice McKenna to stay in the WHL, a chance to play with his Tigers teammates in his hometown. Instead, McKenna signed a $1 million contract with Penn State and will play NCAA hockey this season in the United States.
You know, we're focusing on who's here and who's not here. Gavin's a great kid. We wish him nothing but the best.
Yeah, I mean, it's different, but I mean, we're really excited to be here. It's a beautiful city, and I mean, we're really happy to be here. So we're going to miss him in the locker room and on the ice, but we know he's going to kill it in school this year. So we're really happy for him, and we're just going to keep on with our same goal here and trying to win a MEM Cup.
Sad that he won't be here, and hopefully they'll win both games.
You still a big Tigers fan?
Yeah.
Even with McKenna out of the lineup, both games in the 1,500-seat rink are sold out.
We haven't had one person ask for their money back. We haven't had one sponsor ask for their money back or anything. And we're gonna fill the arena both nights still. So it's great.
That's good news for organizers because all the proceeds are going to the Kids Recreation Fund. It helps make sports more affordable for Yukon families. George Moratis, CBC News, Whitehorse.
And that is Northbeat for tonight. For news anytime, go to cbc.ca/north. We leave you tonight with a video of a two-tusked narwhal spotted near Arctic Bay, Nunavut. It's a rare thing. About 1 in 500 males are known to grow two tusks. Thank you for watching. I'm Megan Roberts. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.